Hello everyone, you're welcome once again to our full learning English. And on our series on plosive sounds, today we are taking a look at another pair of plosive sounds. Today we are looking at and d and d. So in this video, we are going to be taking a look at the names of these two plosive sounds, how they are articulated or produced, their distribution in English words, that is, where they appear at the beginning of words, at the middle of words, and at the end of words. And finally, we're going to take a look at silent letters of these two sounds, silent letters of these two consonant sounds or plosive sounds. So let's get started. So we're starting with the first sound, which is pronounced as. Now, to pronounce this sound, first, the name of this sound, the phonetic name of this sound is voiceless alveolar plosive. Voiceless alveolar plosive. Now, it is voiceless because when you pronounce the sound, there is no vibration around your neck, in the vocal cords around your neck. There is no vibration. Also, the sound is called alveolar because when you pronounce this sound, just as you can see on the screen, the tongue, the front part of your tongue makes contact with the alveolar ridge. Now, the alveolar ridge is that speech organ immediately after your upper teeth. Immediately after your upper teeth. That speech organ, you can use the tip of your tongue to feel it. Now, the tip of the tongue makes contact with the alveolar ridge when you pronounce the T sound. And also, this sound is called plosive. It's also a plosive sound. And like I said in my previous video, the plosive sound is so called because of the explosive release of the outgoing airstream. So this sound, like I said, is called the voiceless alveolar plosive. So let's look at the distribution of this sound in English words. At the beginning of words, you can find this sound in the word task, task, time, and tall. At the middle, you can find the sound in the word matter, matter, rating, and settled, settled. At the end of words, you can find this sound in words like art, art, bought, and lot. You can also practice other English words with this sound. Can I repeat that? It's also important for you to practice these sounds with other English words that contains or reflect the voiceless alveolar plosive. And finally on this sound, let's take a look at where we can find silent letter T. Silent letter T. You can find the silent letter T in the following words. Castle, castle, that is, letter T is not pronounced. And that is why when you look at the transcription, you can't find the T sound there. So we have silent letter T. So we have castle, we have Christmas, Christmas, wrestle, wrestle, catch, catch, asin, asin, apostle, pestle, rapport. And in the word rapport, the letter R and letter T are both not pronounced. They are silent. Then we have depot, depot. Now, don't confuse this word with deport. There are two different words, different meanings, different spellings, and different pronunciation. So this is depot. Then we have sachet, we have chalet, and we have bouquet. Now, the three final words are of French origin. So the last letter T is not pronounced in the three words sachet, chalet, and bouquet. It is also important to note that the ed changes to t or changes to the t sound if the following voiceless consonants come before the ed in words. That is, the ed changes to t when these following sounds p, th, sh, and s. All of these consonant sounds, when they precede or come before the ed changes to t. So let's take a look at some examples. We have kicked, kicked. So we can find k coming before the ed. So the ed changes to t. We have clapped, rushed, fetched. We have missed, missed. And finally, we have laughed, laughed, laughed. You can also practice as many times as possible. But note, whenever voiceless consonant sounds like p, k, th, ch, sh, and s come before the ed changes to t. Take note of that and don't forget. So let's move on to the second sound. Now, this one is also an alveolar plosive sound, but it's a voiced alveolar plosive. Don't forget the one we just concluded, the one we just treated, or the one I just talked about is voiceless alveolar plosive, while this one is voiced alveolar plosive. It is called voiced because when you pronounce this sound, d, 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 there's a vibration of the vocal cords around your neck. That's the larynx. Okay, now it is called alveolar because when you pronounce the sound, the tongue makes contact with the alveolar ridge. It makes contact, and that's why it's called alveolar. And it is called plosive because of the explosive release of the hair string when you pronounce the sound. Da, 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 da. Now, how do you know this? When you place your palm in front of your mouth and you pronounce the sound, you see a puff of hair coming out. You can feel it in your palm. Da, da, da. Okay? So this sound is called voiceless alveolar plosive. So let's look at the distribution of the sound in English words. At the beginning of words, you can find this sound in the word deal. You can find it in the word drink, drink. You can also find it in the word destiny, destiny. At the middle of words, you can find it in the word medium. That is the sound coming at the middle or comes at the middle. Medium, hiding, and audit, audit. Then at the end, that is word final, you can find this in the following words. I mean, you can find the sound in the following words: hot, hold, bud, bud, bored, and sad. You can also look for other words that reflect the the voiced alveolar plosive d, and you can practice with them. Now let's look at where we can find silent letter D, silent letter D in English words. We have handkerchief, handkerchief. Now from the pronunciation of that word, you discover that letter D is not pronounced silent, handkerchief. Sandwich, sandwich. Adjacent, adjacent. Adjoin, and adjust. Now you discover that most of the words I give here, they come with a DJ. So most of the words that come with the DJ, or all the words that come with the DJ, the letter D is always silent. And finally, let's take a look at words that are almost pronounced the same, but only different based on the voiceless and the voiced consonants. So let's take a look at the following words. We have teach, beach, tip, dip, tout, doubt, ten, den, tent, dent. Can we take that again? Siege, beach, tip, dip, tout, doubt, ten, den, tent, and dent. So we've come to the end of today's video on the voiceless and voiced alveolar plosive. I hope you've learned something new and something interesting. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, Afo Learning English, click that red button, subscribe, and also click the notification button so that you can get notified anytime I drop a new video. Don't also forget to share my videos, tell your friends, your students, your children, and also don't forget to ask questions and comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.